Hi, Vic. I'm Subhadra, as you know, and I have some questions for you about happiness. First of all, does happiness even really exist? And if it does, what is it? What does it mean to be happy?
Yes, happiness exists. Krishna defines it as Icha Dvesha Sukha Dukam Sanghatas Chetana Dhriti. That happiness exists within the mind when the mind achieves its desires. So happiness is just based on fulfilling desires. If you don't have any desires, you can't possibly have any happiness. You need desires and you need to fulfill them. Then you can experience happiness.
How can we attain a lasting state of happiness? Or would we get bored with being happy?
The quality of your happiness directly depends upon the quality of your desire. Happiness is nothing but the fulfillment of desire. So the quality of the happiness is entirely dependent upon the quality and intensity of your desire. And the intensity and profundity and depth and longevity of the desire is directly dependent upon the quality of the object of your desire. So lasting happiness is not possible until we discover something which is lasting.
And also, is happiness even really a good goal in life? I mean, I want my kids to be happy, but is that a good thing to teach them? Like, that's the goal of life, to be happy?
According to the Upanishads, happiness is not only the goal of life or a goal of life, it is the original goal of the original life. The very original consciousness manifests reality for the sake of experiencing happiness. The Upanishad says, Sa kamyata bahusyam prajayata. So happiness is not only a goal of life, it's the only goal of life. It's the only real goal of life. The problem is that we don't know where to get it, how to get it. We don't know what to desire. We don't know what's worthy of desiring. We think having a donut is worthy of desire. Or we think being the coolest guy on the block is worthy of desire. Or being the best person in the history of the world is worthy of desire. We have no idea what is really going to provide lasting happiness. That's the problem. That's what education is needed for. Nobody needs to be educated on what the goal of life is. Everybody knows that it's happiness. What we need education on is what's going to give us that happiness.
Can we be happy and still eat junk food? Or if we're happy, will we stop eating junk food? Or stop doing self-destructive things? Or do we have to stop doing self-destructive things before we become happy, in order to become happy?
So this is an important topic in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Raso varjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartante. That you can't give up junk food until you have something that gives you more satisfaction than junk food. Then you can give up junk food. You can only give up things temporarily unless you have something that provides you better happiness than what you got from the thing that you want to give up. Yet, you have to open your mind to the option that there's something better than junk food. So there has to be a little bit of brakes applied to your enthusiasm for junk food, so that you can consider, maybe this is not really giving me the happiness that I think it's going to give me. Maybe I should evaluate if this desire is really worth it. So you do have to put a little bit of discipline into your life, putting the brakes on your desires and evaluating, is this really what I want? But you're not going to be able to stop it. Even if you realize this is not really what I want, you won't be able to stop doing that until you find something that is what you really want.
Can we be selfish and be happy?
That's the root of the problem. The root of the problem is we don't know what to desire because we don't know what we are. We don't know what's going to bring us happiness because we don't even know what we are. And we think of ourselves as some entity that's divorced and divided from the rest of the entities and from the whole. And that is a big mistake. That's called illusion or avidya. So as long as we have illusion and avidya, our desires are going to actually cause us suffering. Incomplete happiness is tantamount to suffering. Because incomplete happiness is aggravating, agitating, frustrating. It's almost what I want, but it's not. So actually desire and happiness actually just brings frustration unless we get it right. So the idea that I exist separately from everybody else and that my existence is more important than everybody else's is never going to bring happiness. The idea that I am completely integrated with everyone else and their happiness is my happiness and my happiness is their happiness, that is the right road to go down.
And also, can we ever really make another person happy?
If you want to make other people happy, do your duties for them. Fulfill your responsibilities to them. Show them that you care about them at least as much as you care about yourself. That will come pretty darn close to making them happy.
Also, can we be in a state of happiness and still express and experience a full range of human emotions? Does that go together?
What we call a full range of human emotions is not really a full range of human emotions, it's a full range of sadness. That's what we're experiencing here. A full range of sadness, from very little of it to tons of it. But what you can experience if you get your life right, if you get your self-concept right, is a full range of happiness.
And also, if we have free will, then why do we ever do things that make us unhappy or that we know will probably make us unhappy?
Well, the reason why we do things that make us unhappy is because we're not desiring the right stuff. Desiring an inferior thing, it doesn't mean that you don't have free will. It just means that you're not very smart. It's not contradictory that you make a mistake, therefore you don't have free will. You make a mistake because you have free will, but you just don't have intelligence. So what we don't have is vidya. We have avidya, lack of vidya. Agyan, agyanenavritam jnanam. Where consciousness occluded by, clouded by, mystified by unconscious objects. So we make bad decisions because we have bad information. It doesn't show that we're not making decisions. It shows that we're making bad decisions. We come to suffer not because we don't have free will, but because we don't have vidya, or knowledge about what's really good and what's not.
So those are some of the questions I was thinking about. Thank you for the opportunity to ask you these questions.
Thank you, Subhadra, for the opportunity to share with you the answers that I'm fortunate enough to get by studying Shastra.